Hi, it's me, Rachel Lynn, and today's Tip Tuesday are different budgeting myths that you might believe, and I would like to kind of help you out with those. So this video was inspired by a question that somebody posed on a Dave Ramsey Facebook group that I am in, and I would like to kind of dispel those myths for you if I can. So the first one is, I don't need to budget because I'm not living paycheck to paycheck, or I just do the budget in my head. So first of all, if you're not living paycheck to paycheck, congratulations, that's great. However, are you definitely meeting all of your financial goals? And if you think you are, can you prove it? Without a budget, I don't think that you'd be able to. What age do you want to retire? Do you want to be able to do things when you retire? Would you like to retire early? All of those things can be answered with doing a budget. As far as doing the budget in your head, well, you know, sometimes your head forgets things. And if you have a budget and you have it written down and you keep track of your spending and all of that, then you're a lot less likely to forget things. The next one is, I deserve such and such. Well, I'll tell you, you deserve the world. Everybody does. However, if you're in debt, you've already gotten the things that you deserve, and now you're paying for it, and often at like 20-30% more than what you should have paid for it. You don't deserve to pay extra for anything. The next myth is that a budget stays the same each month, and once you have it figured out, you just set it and forget it. Well, first of all, you definitely shouldn't forget it because you have to follow the budget. Second of all, no, once you set the budget, it's not just set it and forget it. It's not just set it and it stays the same. Every single month, my budget changes, and I'm on a salary. So my salary doesn't change. And while my income might change depending on my side hustles, all of that extra money goes to debt. So you could even say that that doesn't really change or affect my my income really, because it doesn't affect the rest of my budget, because it's either more towards debt or less towards debt depending on how much extra I bring in from side hustles. But I base my budget on my base salary, and that's it. And so all of that stuff, it still changes from month to month. Some months I know that I'm going to eat out more because I have an extra side job and I have to drive an hour away to get there, and I know that I'll probably eat out a little bit more because I'm on the road and I'm working on the weekends. Some months I have a very little grocery budget because I know that I'm not going to be buying anything. Some months, like in the summer, I know that I don't drive very much, so my gas budget's going to be lower. A budget is very fluid, it's ever changing, it changes month to month, all the time. And definitely when you're just beginning a budget, it's definitely going to change a lot as you learn what you really need in different categories and how you should really be doing your budget. Heck, I even did my budget for 2 whole years. I budgeted like every 2 weeks, and I completely changed that. After 2 years, I decided to do it a completely different way. And then after about a year of doing it that way, just this year, I added in a whole new budget category. So it always changes. The next myth is, I don't have enough money to budget or save or pay off debt, or I have no money left after bills, so I can't do a budget. If you think you don't have enough money to budget, then you're very wrong. It's actually the quite opposite. And if you don't have money left over after bills, then you definitely need to be on a budget. The myth of this one is like actually quite the opposite. If you were on a budget and you were telling your money what to do and where to go, it would behave a little bit better, and you would find that you have a lot more money than you think you do. I kind of feel like the less money that you have, really, the more you really do need to budget and be careful about where your money is going. The next myth is that budgets don't work for me. Well, that's probably because you do the budget and then you don't follow it. When you tell your money what to do on paper, you also have to tell your money what to do in real life. That's the way that it works. The next 2 myths kind of go together. Budgets are for rich people, or budgets are for poor people. Budgets are for everyone. No matter how much money you have, if you have any money, if you have any income, you definitely should be making a plan of what to do with that money before it leaves your hands and then you wonder where it went, whether you have a little bit or a lot of it. The next myth is that budgets are too restricting, and Maybe you restrict yourself, that's probably on you, so that could be true, but really you are the one that's in charge. You are telling your money what to do, not the other way around. When you set up a budget, you are making goals for yourself, you're setting up a plan on what to do so that you're telling your money what to do. The budget is not restricting for you, it's freeing for you. You are the one that can tell your money whether or not you want to spend it or save it. But of course you have to make the budget, and then you also have to follow the budget. Sure, you can, go over in a category in your budget or something like that, and maybe you'll feel less restricted, but then you won't be reaching the money goals that you're wanting to reach. And that's not the budget, that's you. Another myth is that putting a budget together will magically make all of your money behave. I'm sorry, but no. You actually have to follow your budget, and, you have to do what you planned on doing. It's not just going to magically happen because you wrote it down somewhere and then forgot about it. The next myth is that I don't have the math skills to do a budget. Now, it does take some math, and I love math, so I actually really like doing my budget, and it is something that I really enjoy, but you really don't need that many math skills. If you do an Excel or Google Docs spreadsheet, you can put in a formula and it'll do all the math for you. There's also handwriting a budget and using a calculator. If you can use a calculator, you can do a budget. The next myth is I can't have any fun with my money if I'm on a budget, or that being on a budget means I can't have any fun. Being on a budget means that you have just predetermined what you're going to do with your money. So if you want to have some fun with your money, put that in your budget. Of course, you want to try to reach your financial goals, whether it's saving or trying to buy a big ticket item or trying to pay off debt, whatever that is, you do need to put that in your budget so that you can meet those goals. But if you want to have some fun, go have some fun. Just put it in the budget. And then the last myth that I have is my spouse won't get on board, so I can't do it either. Okay, so I'm going to be honest here, and I will just say that I have no expertise in this area because I'm not married, and I don't have any significant other or anything like that, and I have definitely never tried to get anybody else on board with the Dave Ramsey plan. So I would definitely look to some of the other budgeters that are out there on YouTube if you want a little bit more advice with this. Some of the ones that are married and have somebody that they've tried to get on board. There's Kelly from Freedom in a Budget, Wendy Valencia, Brad from Baby Steps Brad, Lydia Sen. All of these people, I would definitely say go look to them, and they all have a spouse, and some of them, they were the reluctant ones, so I would definitely look to them and maybe get some advice from them. But I have seen time and time again, both in Facebook groups and then also people here on YouTube, where you just start and you just try and keep going, and then the spouse will see like, oh, what they're doing is working. Maybe I should get on board too. And I do see that a lot, and so that is definitely something that I say, just go ahead and get started. Just try, and then as you start reaching some of those goals, even though your spouse might be messing up the budget a little bit on the way, I don't know, but you just try and you start reaching some goals, they might actually get on board. I can't say for certain, but I have seen this quite a bit. I'm not saying it would be easy to do if you have somebody that's not on board or even just a reluctant spouse, but I do think that that's not an excuse for you to not go ahead and get started. Those are all the myths that I have today and that I wanted to try and debunk for you. If you have any further questions about budgeting or anything like that, I would love to try and help you out with those, so leave me a comment down below. Leave me a comment also if you have any other budgeting myths that you have heard of, and we can kind of start that conversation in the comments, and I would love to try to help you out if I could. Also, like this video for debunking myths, and also don't forget to subscribe if you are not already. I make videos about getting out of my student loan debt and losing some weight along the way. That's all I have for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.